Hi everyone, welcome back to A Model Recommends. This video is a bit exciting because so many people have been going on about Glossier. It's a huge hit in the States. Everything is always selling out and massive waiting lists. And now it has hit the UK. It's available to ship in the UK. So lots and lots of requests for reviews on their range. They've got body stuff, skincare and makeup. Today I'm going to focus on the makeup, because I think there are going to be quite a lot of videos coming out around this launch, and I thought it'd be nice to do a bit of a try on to show you what the makeup looks like on the skin, and then I shall put the links to everything and the prices and stuff below if you want to take a closer look at them. So let's get started and see, go back to the beginning. It's, as you can see, a very natural and dewy look. Some of you might have thought this was the before. No, this is the after. In fact, this is before and after, so, you know, it is quite a difference, but it's not your typical, as I'll go into later, sort of heavy-duty Instagram Insta makeup. Let's get started. So starting off with the moisturiser, I'm not really going to go too much into the skincare in this video because it's all about the makeup, but this one is the priming moisturiser, and there are two of these. There's the Buildable Hydrating Cream, which I find a little bit too light for my skin, not quite enough moisture. And then there's this one, which is the Priming Moisturiser Rich, which I think is lovely. And I think that for this sort of healthy, barely there makeup sort of effect, your skin does need to look great. You know, it relies on a good canvas to work with, really. So this one's very rich, but doesn't leave a greasy residue, which is important. And which is why I suppose it's a priming moisturiser. There. So we're with the first makeup thing, and this is the Perfecting Skin Tint. And I'm using this in shade medium. This is very sheer. So really, it's your tinted moisturiser. It's not a foundation. Not very much comes out at once, which is quite good in a way, because it means that you just have a little bit to work with and then just blend that in. So you can see really lovely, soft, dewy finish, but very sheer indeed. In fact, I'm going to do a split screen and show you the before and the after of this. It does just do a good job, I think, of making everything look fresh and pulled together. You wouldn't be using this to cover sort of acne or acne scarring. You wouldn't be using it to cover rosacea. What you can do though is go in on top with a more heavy duty concealer, which wouldn't be this one, I have to say, the Glossier one, which is called the Stretch Concealer. It's very beautiful, but it's not, again, high coverage. And for those who just need a little bit of help, but don't particularly want anything that's going to look too obvious, I'll put it on my lids because those are quite dark so you can see. Then this is beautiful. It's called Stretch just because it's got this really lovely, flexible sort of texture. But it's not greasy, it doesn't run. And then you can use it on spots. But I have to say, it wouldn't be my first choice. I don't think that it really has the staying power or the level of coverage that you'd need for a dark spot like that one. And now for the Cloud Paints, which are like a creamy liquid blush in the sweetest little tubes. I think that these are actually my favourite products from the whole range. Just on the packaging alone, I think I'm sold. However, how do they work on the cheeks? I mean, this is all very creamy and dewy, so for people that very much rely on a powder bronzer, for example, for their everyday look, this is quite a change. First of all, we have 3 different shades here that I'm trying out. We've got Beam, which is the top one. I have to say this is the one that I'm most drawn to, I think, just because it's the prettiest colour. But the prettiest colour to look at isn't necessarily always the prettiest colour on your face. And then the next one down is the pink one, and this is in Puff. See that there? And then finally, the one that I think is actually the most universally useful. We've got Dusk, this one here. So that hasn't actually set yet. So let's have a little look at Dusk on the cheeks. You can see that a tiny, tiny bit of this goes a really long way. So, I mean, I've barely even patted my fingertip onto the back of my hand there, and I didn't really put a lot of that on to start with. So look, I mean, just the tiniest bit. The thing about all of these textures actually is that they do very seamlessly blend together. They all work together very, very well because they're all very sheer layers. And if you're looking for very natural looking sort of, it's almost like anti-Instagram makeup because it just looks so natural, so fresh and really realistic. The one that I'm least drawn to, interestingly, of this is the pink one, only because it can look a bit Barbie sometimes, can't it? But actually, I've been wearing it as a little flush look, just there. That is so, so faint. But can you see how it really lifts any tiredness away? Just by adding in a little bit of pink, and this is a good trick with any makeup look, really. Just takes away, just adds a bit of brightness, especially under the eyes. So look, I'm sure I look a lot less tired. And then if we try Beam, which is the one that I'm, as I say, most drawn to just because it's such a pretty peach colour. I'm running out of face, obviously, but I want to show you it. Can you see you just need the slightest dab of colour? And it's a really pretty, fresh peachy shade. And look, I actually quite like this on eyes and on lips. So, granted, it's probably not the first shade that you'd ever reach for your eyelids, but I feel like Beam is quite pretty. But again, possibly the one that is most useful all round is Dusk, and this one's probably a little bit more realistic on the eyes. And listen, I'm all for products that you can use on multiple areas of your face. And this one's just got a really nice hydrating texture, feels bouncy and lovely, doesn't slide around, easy to apply, easy to blend. I mean, that really is my star pick, I think, from the whole range. Oh, that's nice on the lips, isn't it? That's Beam. Don't know whether you meant to put it on your lips, but I do like a bit of cream blusher on the lips. Oh, my eyes are quite orange, aren't they? Yeah. Some highlighter, and this is the Dewy Effect highlighter. It's called the Haloscope, and I have this one in Quartz, and it's got this sort of outer ring of the illuminator itself, and then this glossy moisturising centre that just helps give it this dewy effect. And it is so easy because you just quite literally draw it on and blend it in. So there's no glitter, there's no real shimmer, it's just this lovely low-key gleam. You can see that there? Just going to stick some mascara on because I feel like my eyes have disappeared. I want to feel like my eyes are still in my head. One of the products that people seem to be giving rave reviews to and loving, and it's their favourite pick from the whole range, etc, etc, is the balm.com. Now, I do like the balm. It's just a universal sort of lip balm or balm that you can use in dry areas. It's lovely, but it wouldn't be my pick. I don't think it offers anything particularly different. Whereas the cloud paints, I think, are an absolute triumph. I know we haven't got to the end of the video yet, but they would be if you had to pick one product, I think that I would go for one of those, and I would go for either Beam or Dusk. Probably Dusk at a push, because I think that you can use it for more things, but Beam is cuter, isn't it? However, I'm about to throw all that up into the air because there is one more product that I think really sort of competes for the top spot, and that's the Boy Brow. And this is a grooming product for the brows that sort of plumps, grooms, sets in place and adds just a bit of volume and colour. I have it in blonde. As you know, I am a bit of an addict of the Benefit Gimme Brow, which is very, very similar to this, but this, I think, I have to look at the price per mil, but this I think is cheaper. And I feel like a slightly waxier product. I think it might have a little bit more oomph to it. Let's see, shall we? So just combing that through, brushing it through. I think it's always a good idea when you're using these things to have a dry eyebrow brush handy as well. And look, you can either sort of brush them upwards and make them a bit messy, or you can groom them. But for people like me who don't like that whole drawn in eyebrow look, you know, where you've got like a chiseled edge to it, these are amazing. Do you want to say, I've been asleep?
Not at all.
You haven't been asleep at all, have you? Show your monster on your jumper. Ah, yes, off you go. So look, I mean, I think that makes a really big difference. And it is a very overall glowy, dewy look. Like I said, I think that it partly relies on having quite good skin to begin with to really get the full effect of the sheerness, because it is all about sort of letting your skin show through, and it's a helping hand rather than a camouflage. But you know, that is what it is, and they've sort of said that really. So what do you think? Let me know what you think. As I said, my favourite products are the cloud paints. Just overall, I think that they're amazing, and I love everything about them, from the way they apply to the appearance of the packaging to the names. And then I think my second favourite product, although probably, I don't know, it's a real tie, because I can imagine that I'm going to use this on a daily basis. So although it's not as cute to hold or photograph or talk about, this one will probably get the most use. I think that this is probably my new favourite brow thing. So yeah, Boy Brow. I'm going to put all the links to everything in the description box below. All available in the UK now, and the prices are really, really good. I'll pop those down below as well. And I shall see you in the next video.